Hey guys, welcome to this video. Here we are going to be looking at how we set up our recurring invoicing in Xero for our fixed price agreement work. Now, there's two different ways you can manage your fixed price agreements. One is through Xero and Xero Practice Manager. The other one is using Practice Ignition. So in this video here, we're focusing on the fixed price agreements that you have that are not being managed through Practice Ignition. So how we do that is we're going to set up a recurring invoice out of Xero, and that's going to go every month. We're going to bill the client for our services, and we're going to send that invoice amount back up into the job within Xero Practice Manager. So how we're going to do that is we're going to use the client order number in the job is going to map through to the reference number within Xero's recurring invoice. Now, how you collect those funds is up to you. So you might have a direct debit form that the client's filled out. They might be on an automatic payment, or you might be charging their credit card through some sort of payment gateway. But you collect those funds however that is done, and we want to create the invoice in Xero, which we can match through. But what we're doing here is we're talking about how we can take that invoice amount and send it into the job within XPM. And the reason we want to do that is for back costing purposes. We want to know what was invoiced on the job and then how much it cost us based on the timesheets we've done. So let's jump in and we'll check it out. Okay, so here I am in XPM. So what I'm going to do is let's click into one of these jobs here. Let's say we are in the 2020 annual engagement for Hamilton Smith Limited. So what we want to do is we want the invoices to start arriving in the financial tab down here. So when an invoice is generated within Xero, in the recurring invoices, it should create an invoice in XPM for us, and they'll arrive in here. So how we do that is if I go to information on the job and go edit job and the client order number, let's make this HAM100. So whatever the client code is, you just want to make sure that the reference is unique between each client, and then hit save. So HAM100 is that code. Now I'm going to jump into Xero and we're going to set up the recurring invoice. So if we go new repeating invoice, now we want to start this. The first one will be for April. So April is the start of my 2020 financial year. Let's assume we're on a New Zealand financial year. So on the 1st of April, we want the invoice to be generated, and it's due on the 20th. You organize your own payment to however you want to structure your due dates. It's up to you. I'm just going to go 20th of current month, and then we are going to go invoice to, and it's going to go to Hamilton, just like that. And the reference, really important, has to be identical. So we're going to go HAM100 like that, and then whatever we're doing for the services. So this will be annual accounts. Put 200 in there. That's going to be our compliance. And then we might have our management. And those are $250 a month we're doing them for. And they can go to 201, compliance plus revenue. Something like that. So $550 a month, so we're doing the annual accounts plus they're getting monthly management accounts from us. So each month they're paying $450. So if I hit save, what that will do, so what we've got here is Hamilton Smith for that amount. And if I go to awaiting payment now, we should have already one generated back here. So there we go. We've got one for the 1st of April and one for the 2nd of May. So what that will do is overnight, that is going to arrive in here and create our invoices for those 2 months. And each month that is generated, it's going to create a new invoice. Now, if you are setting this up, so you've already got the invoices that have gone out of Xero, but they haven't mapped through to the job within XPM. What you can do is set up those reference codes. So put in the HAM100 or whatever the code is in the client order number and in the reference. And if you go and edit the invoice and in one of the line items hit a space bar or a full stop or something, just change one thing in the invoice and hit save. That save will trigger a resync back up that night. So you just need to go into those invoices that were sent and they'll send back up. One other thing I forgot to mention, I'll just quickly show you this. This is also very, very important. If you go into Xero, into your connection, you have to make sure that this box is checked. Down here, automatically import invoices from Xero. That box must be checked for this to work as well. So yeah, that's how you do your recurring invoices in Xero. So the key thing here is make sure that we get the reference code between the client order number and in the recurring invoice reference. And yeah, easy as that. So any questions, let us know in the chat, and I'll see you in the next video.